Hey Harry, a funny thing happened on the way to work today. My car ran out of gas at Safeway, so I had to walk all the way to work. Once I got to work, I realized that I was soaked from the rain. As a result, I had to change my clothes before I could go to class. Therefore, I was late getting to class. I'm sorry. In this fictional but possible story, one event happened. The car ran out of gas, which caused a series of other events that led up to the final result, this man being late for work or to class. This is what we would call a cause and effect relationship. In a cause and effect paragraph, essay, speech, or whatever, we would be describing such events and how they are all related. In doing so, we would use words such as a result, because of, the effect of, consequently, and a few others. The examples of this type of relationship are countless, as it is very, very common. I mean, we all have things that happen to us that have consequences beyond that event. In our books on page 95 of the Writing Academic English, we see 4 possible relationships for a cause and effect essay. We will only be looking at patterns C and D in this class. Therefore, let's look at a couple of examples on the handout provided that show these patterns at work. The first example involves Joe. Joe is a graduate student at WSU who was in a hurry to get back to Pullman. He was driving his wife's Porsche 944, a very fast sports car, at 100 miles per hour when he passed a police officer. The first result of his decision to drive too fast was that the police officer pulled him over, or stopped him. The police officer probably talked to him for a while to warn him on why it is dangerous to drive so fast. But in the end, the next result was that the officer wrote him a $1,000 ticket for excessive speed. When Joe got home, his wife was absolutely furious, or very mad, and wouldn't let him drive the Porsche anymore. The second example involves a businessman named Jeff who has a bad temper and had just gotten a new Chevy Corvette, another very fast sports car. Jeff was thrown in jail, and a police officer was thrown into the hospital due to several related reasons. The first cause of this situation started when Jeff was driving at 120 miles per hour in his Corvette between Moscow and Pullman. When the police officer pulled him over, Jeff started getting very angry and yelled at the police officer. When the police officer tried to calm Jeff down, Jeff hit the police officer in the nose, breaking the officer's nose. The consequence of all these events, or the end result, was the jailing of Jeff and the hospitalization of the police officer. We could also look at other examples that show us this relationship, which are maybe more common. For example, suppose a person has chosen to study at the IALC. This decision can result in several effects, such as the possibility of culture shock, an eventual acceptance of differences between the student and their new culture, and the ultimate learning of English. Another student may have come to the IALC as a result of certain causes. Maybe they got bored in their home country, so they started looking for new opportunities to make life more interesting. And then they found the IALC on the internet and applied, and here they are. There are many examples of this kind of relationship, so now it is your turn to think of a few on your own.